Everybody. Want to talk to you guys about specifically why I chose the MetaQuest 2 over the 3. Now, the main point is because of price. I don't think that the Quest 3 is worth $500. It's very expensive. For another 100 or $200, you can get a full-on gaming computer with, a high-end graphics card, a 16-inch screen, and, a terabyte drive. So like whenever I'm specifically going for something in that price range, I want to get something that I'm going to use for longer than like 3 years. Because if you're putting that kind of money on something, you better sure that it actually lasts that long. The Quest 2 is an entry level headset. It's targeted and like marketed as that. I think it's very good as an entry. For me, what I want as a consumer is I want an Apple Vision Pro level quality headset. So I want like the wide angle lenses. I like the Pancake. They already have Pancake. Problem is that it's only 110 degrees of point of view. And the thing that for me is the two sticking factors that I specifically want is better quality screens, displays, and secondly, just the just a wider angle point of view. Because they might ask, what does that even mean? Well, if you've used a VR headset, you may have experienced like it's kind of like looking through binoculars, and that's kind of the experience you have with the Quest headsets in general. But when I tried that, like say like if you go to an Apple store and demo and get hands on with it, you feel it doesn't feel like binoculars. It feels way more immersive. And on top of that, the displays are OLED and they're 4K. They're real 4K lenses, not lenses, displays. Um, and that is what I want. If Meta just makes a Meta Quest 4, make it $600, $600, and they add everything that Apple Vision Pro has, and like displays or wider POV, make the chipset and make the SoC, GPU, CPU more powerful, that is something I'm willing to buy because that in the long term will last. Whatever games I play, all the stuff, it'll be exactly what I want it to be. Right now, in terms of the Quest 2 and 3, I still think they very much lack in terms of premium quality that you expect from like Apple, for example, or like the HTC Vive or other vendors. And so that for me is the biggest point. So if they manage to figure out how do we make this like a budget, still budget but yet premium quality headset, I'll buy it. And for me, I just want to wait for that. I don't want to get the Quest 3S, which is supposed to be a budget model. And it's gonna be less than the RDT 3. And the 3 is not exactly what I want. Its displays aren't 4K. I mean, I believe it's 2K. And then on top of that, the the POV is still looking like it feels like a goggle. That's the problem. And that's the thing why Apple Vision Pro is still known to be the best in the market. It's just solely because it has raw hardware. The hardware is extremely well built, and the software is, I would say, like maybe a 5 out of 10. They could have, if they implemented like app Mac OS on it, they had, full on every app you could want on there. They had better game support, better app support. The Apple Vision Pro would crush it. But so like if they fix these things, I will go for the best. Um, because I know I will enjoy that experience and it's something that I'll keep for quite a long time, and it'll last for quite a long time. Right now, we're in an interesting era of AI and immersive computing. I'd say, like if you see VR headsets have started to take off, artificial intelligence has taken off. You know, the ARM based chips that is used in our phones in many computer servers around the world is now being used on consumer level hardware. The reason why for this is because they're starting to exceed the level of performance per watt per power over x86. The only thing with x86 is it's compatible with everything. The thing is, computing has always been run on the same architecture. So like games and all this stuff, they just all work on x86 because that's kind of how it was. It's always been like that. It's why Linux isn't it's somewhat okay because of the Steam Deck, because Steam Deck pushed for game compatibility. But still, however, it's not perfect. And you see that with anything. It's just any major difference in operating system or architecture and like processor and all that, you see that it takes a lot more lag time to get to a state where everything starts to become the new norm. Now, the Quest 4 will be 3 or 4 times as more powerful as that. And so that's what I'm looking for. That huge peak in terms of performance. It's also one of the things I experienced with the Quest 2 is somewhat there's emulators can lag a bit. There's some it's not exactly perfect. You can't play Nintendo Switch games. I mean, you could, there's supports it. It's an Android operating system underneath. The only problem is that it doesn't have enough power, raw power to emulate. So once these things kind of progress, you'll start to see, AAA titles. It's already going on the Quest, but it'll be everywhere, all under ARM. I mean, for me, I got the Quest 2 because I just wanted to get my hands on this. I wanted to experience VR. I didn't know exactly if it was going to be for me, if I was going to get motion sickness, is that if I actually enjoy the gameplay, if, you know,